everyone, Infinitecaz here, and welcome to another video. Today, I'll be talking about a weapon that I think is pretty infamous in the Splatoon community, that being the Goo Tuber. Often regarded as a bit of a joke weapon, and one of, if not, the worst weapon in the game. Today, I'm going to see for myself what the Goo Tuber is like, and determine if it is indeed the worst main in Splatoon 2. I also will be giving some suggestions about how it could be improved, as most weapons would be so much better with just a few tweaks. With that being said, let's get right into it. So for starters, what makes a weapon good and what makes a weapon bad? I think to simplify, we can focus on 3 attributes: kill power, paint, and a unique gimmick. The ability to splat effectively is what your weapon is primarily designed to do, and is a crucial part of any game. Being able to continuously win encounters and have an immediate upper hand can make you very scary to deal with. This can be further split up into the weapon's splat speed and consistency. For example, the 96 Gal has a very quick 2-shot kill, but its spread can cause you to miss several shots, even close up, making you much more vulnerable in a fight, as you are at the mercy of RNG. I think a balance of these is very important, as weapons should reward skill, but still be accessible for anybody who wants to give them a shot. The other important thing a weapon needs to be effective is its painting ability. As well as being the objective in Turf War, being able to ink as much of the map as quickly as possible is very important, as many weapons can't function well with little paint. Some weapons, like the Aero Spray, have very effective paint but a slow and inconsistent splat, while others are the complete opposite. These weapons can work, and are not necessarily bad, but you often see them used less as a result. If your main weapon is not a fantastic painter, it's usually good to use a kit that can aid you with that, so you can be more versatile. Lastly, let's take a look at what makes a weapon unique: its gimmick. When looking at said weapon, what does it have that no other weapon does, that makes it desirable to pick up and play? For example, the Tent Umbrella is not a brilliant painter, and can struggle to get splats, but it has a powerful shield that can support your team in offense or defense. Often a specific attribute, like range or how many shots it takes to get a splat, can also be important. You may, for example, think that the faster splat time on the Hydra warrants its slowest speed and is a better pick over the heavy splatling. Determining if a weapon is good means you need to take into account these features and look at the overall picture. So now we know what makes a good weapon. How does the Goo Tuber fit in here? To give some basic information, this weapon is an unscoped charger, but it has pretty lackluster range, being outperformed by the heavy splatling, bamboozler, jet squelcher and so on. It takes 1¼ seconds to fully charge the weapon, compared to just over 1½ for the E-liter. A full charge does 180 damage, which is equal to the E-liter. However, a partial charge does from 40 to 130, meaning that at about a 70% charge, you can one-shot, bringing down the time potentially needed to splat. Despite being a charger, if you tap shot, the Goo Tuber is surprisingly good at painting. However, unlike other weapons, you must choose to focus on getting paint or picks at that moment, making the weapon less versatile in my opinion. The weapon's main gimmick is that it can hold a charge, full or not, in the ink for up to 5 seconds. This means that you can charge your weapon in safety, then use that extra time to position yourself, allowing you to get picks easier, making you less vulnerable. However, do these stats make the Goo Tuber worth playing? The biggest issue with this weapon, in my opinion, is its range and gimmick are that of a pretty aggressive weapon, but its charge time says otherwise. It doesn't quite make sense, and you don't really know how the Goo Tuber should be played. If you want a more aggressive charger, you can use the Squiffer or the Bamboozler, but if you want a slightly slower, more supportive option, the regular Splat Charger and Deleter are a better fit. For the ability to hold your charge in ink, you lose out on the range or the quick splat of other chargers, and what you get in return I don't think is groundbreaking or worth the trade-off. That's not to say the Goo Tuber is necessarily bad. You can still perform really well with it when using it right. I just consider it to be outclassed by the weapons in its respective class, which gives you no reason to use it. To factor in the Goo Tuber's kits, both of them are fine, but don't really provide an incentive to use the weapon. The vanilla with Suction Bomb and Splashdown has a great sub, but a special that leaves you vulnerable due to your slow charge time. The custom with Curling Bombs and Inkjet I consider to be better, as Curling Bombs can be used with the ability to hold your charge in ink, and Inkjet gives you longer ranged pressure. I think this pairs with the more intended playstyle for the Goo Tuber, being a more aggressive charger, so it's the kit I gravitate towards when I use it. So how would I fix the Goo Tuber and make it more viable? I would look at changing either the charge time or its range. I think I would increase the range of the Goo Tuber, as lowering the charge time would make it even more like the Squiffer. I have two options to change the Goo Tuber, range-wise. First, the range could get a buff overall, and I think this should be that the Goo Tuber outranges the Bamboo. I think giving it the range of the Jet Squelcher could be a huge improvement. It makes matchups against more weapons easier, and it compensates for its longer charge time. While this doesn't make the weapon more aggressive, the lackluster range of the Goo Tuber is its biggest issue in my opinion, and it's a simple change to make. Another method I think could buff the Goo Tuber is to keep its maximum range the same, but change it so that your range is not dependent on your charge, meaning that the shot velocity is also not dependent on charge. However, I think the thickness of your shot should increase, and only a fully charged shot can pierce through multiple opponents, so there is still a reasonable difference between a partially and a fully charged shot. Modifying this will help paint and make partially charged shots more effective, which can help make the Goo Tuber more aggressive, as well as unique. In addition, I think I would change the vanilla kit slightly. I just talked about this in my video of fixing charger kits, but I would give the vanilla Goo Tuber Burst Bomb launcher over Splashdown, to make it a little more aggressive and give an option for painting. But another special like Booyah Bomb, Ultra Stamp, or Tenta Missiles could work just as well. I wouldn't change the customs kit, as I think it synergizes with the Goo Tuber quite well. So now we know a bit about the Goo Tuber, and fixes I would implement to improve the main weapon, but how does it stack up against other weapons that are commonly considered mediocre? The Undercover Umbrella is very unique, as its shield is able to be used while firing your weapon. You paint well, however, the actual weapon part of the Undercover suffers from huge fall off and low damage. You have one of, if not, the slowest point blank kill in the game, and your shield is not that strong. To be effective, you need to rely on your paint, and only one kit is of any use, that being the Kenza Undercover with Torpedo and Ink Armour. It's the weakest and least supportive umbrella, and I honestly see no reason to use it. The Ink Brush is also a weak weapon, but it has one huge plus, its mobility. Its run speed is very fast, and it allows you to move about the map and through enemy controlled areas easily. The attack has miserable fall off, and even at point blank, your 4-shot is not a quick splat. However, the uniqueness of this weapon and its decent enough kits make up for this in my opinion, so it has a purpose in its class. The aerial spray is unique, as it's the only weapon in the game that is a 5-shot kill, with each ink pellet having a base damage of 24. This combined with its low accuracy makes it a poor weapon to get splats with, and you will struggle against most weapons to win engagements. However, the aerial spray is a very good painter, and its third kit in particular, having burst bombs and booyah bomb, really helps to pick up the main weapon's slack. And if all you want to do is paint, it's not a bad option in my opinion. So to summarise, I would probably say the Undercover Umbrella is a worse main weapon. However, it's debatable if the Kenz's kit makes it more useful than the Goo Tuber. Is the Goo Tuber the worst weapon in the game? It's hard to say. I actually really enjoyed my time with it, and I found it to be more fun to use than expected. I would probably rank the Undercover below it, just because it's so bad at splatting your opponents, and there are much better ink armor weapons out there. But like any weapon ranking, it's up for debate. That's all for now, and thank you so much for watching till the end. Do you agree with my assessment of the Goo Tuber? Let me know down in the comments. Please like and subscribe as it really helps me out. And with that being said, I will see you all next time. Bye!